Hey everybody, welcome back to the Philosopher podcast. Today the topic is abortion.
So, let's start. Before we can really start talking about it, let's get to know the meaning of abortion. Abortion. Abortion is the ending of a pregnancy by removal or expulsion of an embryo or fetus before it can survive outside the uterus.
Now Alberto and I know there is a lot of controversy about whether to be anti-abortion or pro-abortion. So now we are going to talk about the two sides of the plate, issuing some arguments for both sides.
But firstly, before we start talking about it, we want to let the listeners know that our thesis or our position or claim is that we are pro abortion because we think that if the people don't want to be parents, why force them? And if they are likely to not give a good life to a child or a life worth living.
We'd like to start off saying that even though some women want to get an abortion, some of them can't because of existing issues such as cardiac issues, have three or more crucial diseases, even cancer, or it's very hard for them.
Oh, yeah. The other day I saw on the BBC that they did an article about that, according to them, about 70.3% of all women are not eligible to get an abortion.
Oh yeah, you sent me that article to get ready for the podcast. That was very interesting. Now for pro-abortion. We'll start off by saying that the argument here for pro-abortion is that women who have more of a right to decide what to do with their body, this argument reminds us that even in abortion debate, which will regard the woman as a person and not just a container for the fetus.
For sure. We should therefore give great consideration to the rights and needs as well as those who are unborn. Pro choice women rights activists do not take a casual or callous attitude to the fetus. The opposite is usually true, and most of them acknowledge that choosing an abortion is usually a case of choosing the least bad of several bad courses of action.
Yeah, millions of people face unwanted pregnancies every year, and about 4 out of 10 of them decide to get an abortion, according to Planned Parenthood. Also, by letting women decide what to do with their body, it doesn't necessarily mean that they are doing it because of a negative reason. It could be that they want to be the best parents possible to the kids they already have.
If you get an abortion, it doesn't mean that you don't like, want, or love children. In fact, 6 out of 10 people that decide to get an abortion already have children and may end the pregnancy to focus on the kids they already have. Other reasons could be that they are not ready to be a parent yet. It's not a good time in their life to have a baby, or they don't want to have children with someone they don't want to have a baby with.
Now, knowing that Plato, which was a great philosopher, was or would have been pro-abortion because of all of his principles, just makes the argument a lot stronger. Knowing that a great philosopher like him agrees, it makes the argument way stronger. Now, anti-abortion.
So, why we should be against abortion?
Well, to begin with, the concept of abortion is considered strictly against the ethics of a civil society, as it is akin to murder. It punishes the innocent unborn child by taking away its rights to live, and by doing so, it's violating his or her civil rights. So this means that every living being from the moment of conception has a raw potential that could lead to amazing things. And who are we to decide to strip away from the baby what it could be?
That is true. But also, in the religious base, the act of abortion is prohibited because it's not the feminist core principles of justice are non-violence and non-discrimination.
We believe in a woman's right to control her body, and she deserves this right to matter where she lives, even if she's still living inside her mother's womb. After saying some facts about why the abortion is wrong physically, religiously, and ethically, let's enter into the philosophical ambit. For starters, Aristotle was an anti-abortion person. Abortion can result in medical complications and psychological trauma for women, and actually, in this seventh book of the Politics, Aristotle claims that the practice of abortion must be forbidden as soon as the embryo acquires sensation.
Why is that?
Well, an abortion can generate an increased risk of suffering from depression, and this effect can last 5 years. Another consequence is women who have had an abortion are at greater risk of suicide in the years following. This is because they feel bad most of the time.
However, you look at it a woman who has an abortion and a doctor who provides one and responsible for the termination of life. This is true whether you believe that life starts at conception or starts at birth.
Perhaps because women who have an abortion have to live with this knowledge that they killed their own baby. They can be at an increased risk of suffering from depression. This effect can last 5 years. Women who have had an abortion are also great risk of suicide in the years following. It's not just women who experience psychological problems. We, the men, have it's in studies, it claims that the termination can also have a negative effect on the partner as well.
Abortion can cause physical as well as psychological trauma, with research showing an increased likelihood of miscarriage and placenta previa in any subsequent pregnancies. Abortions are also shown to increase the risk of breast cancer. These risks are typically not discussed with women who attend abortion clinics, where they are assured that the procedure is both safe and no more painful than having a tooth extraction.
Now, a philosopher who would be against abortion would be Hippocrates, because for him, abortion is forbidden as morally unjustifiable. Also, another philosopher who would be against abortion would be Pythagoras. He saw the fetus as an animate human life, unconditionally worth of preservation from the moment of conception.
In conclusion, every person has the right to do what they want with their body and express themselves freely, according to the human rights laws, and that is not an exception for women.
This has
Thank you.
been the Philosopher Podcast. Thank you. We are Carlo and Beto. Have a good one. Bye.